I'm Bridget of the Solidago School of Herbalism. I'm here with Jake from the Island Heritage Trust. We're at the beautiful Lily Pond Park in Deer Isle. We're going to have a little fun today. We're going to make some foraged cocktails or mocktails, whichever you prefer. I'm going to be showing you 3 different cocktails that we can make using local herbs that you can forage right in your own backyard in the month of May. The first one we're going to make is Violet Vibes, which is a violet simple syrup and vodka drink. The second one we're going to make is Dandy Glow, which is a dandelion whiskey drink. And the third one is a May wine, which is sweet woodruff infused in white wine with strawberries. All right, so we're going to start making the Violet Vibes cocktail. And to start with that, we're going to make a violet flower simple syrup. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go out into your backyard and find all of the purple violet flowers. And you just want to harvest enough, just plop them right up off the stem. Just harvest enough to lightly fill a jar. And this will be the jar that we'll make the syrup in. Like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then, imagine that you're in your kitchen and you've just boiled some water. So you want nice hot boiling water that you're then gonna pour over the violet flowers and fill your jar all the way up to the top. And then you're gonna put a lid on it and you're just gonna let it sit out on your kitchen counter until it cools, which could be 4 to 8 hours. And then even after it cools, you can put it in your fridge and you can let it steep anywhere from 4 to 48 hours in your fridge. And the longer you let it steep, the darker and the richer the purple color is. So this one I let steep for about 48 hours and I can see it's very dark purple. And then once you have the desired amount of steep time, you're gonna strain the flowers out and you wanna really squeeze them so you get all the color and all the pigment as much as you can out of the flowers and the flavor. And then you're gonna take your infusion, your violet infusion, and put it in a pot on the stove over very low heat. You're gonna have measured out how much tea you have that you put in your pot, and however much tea that is, you wanna measure out the same amount of sugar and put that sugar into your tea water. Put it on a low heat and stir it regularly until all of the sugar is melted. You don't want to bring it up to a boil or a simmer because you'll lose your pigment, your color. And there you have it. That's your violet simple syrup. Okay, so now that we have our violet simple syrup ready to go, we're ready to make our cocktail. So I like to start out just by putting some ice in the glass, and if you want to get fancy, you can even freeze some violet flowers into your ice cubes. 1 flower per square in your ice cube tray. And then, for whatever vodka you prefer, I like to use about a shot glass worth, about 1 ounce, but you can put in whatever your preference. And then we put in the violet simple syrup. And it's quite sweet because it is sugar, so depending on how sweet you like your drink and how much color you want it to have, you can just ad-lib it. Okay, and then we're going to finish the drink off with some bubbly water, so it has a nice little fizz to it. All right, and this is where the magic happens. So when you expose the purple violet syrup to acid, it lightens up and turns a gorgeous, magical pink hue. So we're going to squeeze in, a fair amount of lemon. And then I this drink as well to kind of cut that sweet syrup flavor. And you can even take your lime and just run it around the rim of the glass to give it a nice flavor when you first take that first sip. And there you go, the Violet Vibes cocktail. When you're ready to offer the cocktail to your friends, you can just dress it with a lime and put a nice violet flower right on top. If you want to make it into a mocktail, just leave out the vodka and add a little bit more bubbly water. That is just fine. You can even call it a violet soda and feed it to your kids if you'd like. And then your friends, even you could let your friends put all the acid in so that they can see the magic happen. Cheers. Now on to the Dandy Glow. This is a dandelion syrup with dandelion root and leaf bitters, Irish whiskey, and some orange. And if you want to make a mocktail, you could trade out the whiskey for some black tea or decaf tea, up to you. Okay, so we have our glass and we have some ice cubes that have some dandelion flowers, just the petals clipped and put on there. So we're going to put in, usually I don't put the water in too, but we have things melting as we go. Irish whiskey, let's do. I'm going to do 1.5 ounces, maybe 2 ounces. And this is what I call jazz cocktail making. I never do much with recipes, if you know me. So this is the dandelion flower simple syrup. You'd make exactly the same way as you made your violet flower simple syrup. And then I made some dandelion root and leaf bitters, which is basically just dandelion root and leaf chopped up and infused in some 100 proof vodka. And you can let it infuse for 6 weeks. This hasn't been going for quite 6 weeks. You can strain it after 6 weeks, but I figured we'll just add a touch of that. And I'm going to add some orange juice. Give it a stir. Garnish with the dandelion flower. There you go. May wine is an age-old traditional spring beverage that is made with sweet woodruff, and often strawberries are added to it. In Maine, the sweet woodruff does not bloom when the strawberries are ripe, but we can use frozen strawberries, and I think that they actually impart their flavor a lot better than fresh strawberries do. So sweet woodruff is a common garden plant. It's a ground cover. And basically to make May wine, we're going to simply rough chop. We got a little violet in there. The sweet woodruff. Put it in a mason jar. Oops, grass stem, take that out. And then we're going to just slice some frozen strawberries and put them in the mason jar as well. And then you simply just have a bottle of white wine that you like. Riesling is traditional, but any sort of a light, crisp white wine is what I prefer. A whole bottle of wine fits perfectly into a quart jar, which is pretty nice. And then if you want to have a non-alcoholic May wine, you can use some bubbly grape soda. And that's it. And then you just put a lid on it and let it steep for 4 hours to 10 hours to overnight. Okay. Once your May wine has steeped, the longer the better, I feel. You can make a fun beverage. You can either drink the wine by itself or you can make a fun beverage with it, where you simply strain off some of the wine into glass. You can add a couple ice cubes. Flour ice cubes might be preferable. You can put some frozen strawberries right in your beverage, sliced, and even as a garnish. And then you can top it off with some bubbly water or Prosecco to make a nice white wine spritzer. And if you have a stem of the sweet woodruff, you could also put that in here as a nice garnish as well. Cheers to May. Thank you for joining us for our May foraged cocktails and mocktails. Make sure to check us out next month for our June foraged cocktails and mocktails.